Hi, it's Michael Senoff with Michael Senoff's HardToFindSeminars.com. The title of this interview is called How to Live to 100 and Feel Great the Entire Way. It's an interview with Suzanne Somers about her search for health and happiness. When Suzanne Somers was going through menopause, she felt terrible. She was moody, sweaty, sleepless, tired, and just wasn't feeling herself. The doctors wanted to prescribe medications to treat each one of her symptoms, but Suzanne didn't want to go that route. That's when she discovered a better way, and in this audio, she'll explain it all. According to Suzanne, most people expect to get one of the big three as they age, either cancer, heart disease, or Alzheimer's. But it doesn't have to be that way. Doctors say people can live to 90 and 100, and Suzanne Somers expects to get there with her brains, bones, and energy intact. And she's well on her way. At 62 years old, she feels great without taking any pharmaceutical drugs, and in this audio, you'll hear how she does it. In this interview, you also hear all about pesticides and why you may want to avoid them. You'll also learn known effects of diet soda and why Suzanne steers clear of them. You'll learn what you need to look for when reading labels at the grocery store. Believe it or not, a lot of harmful chemicals have made up deceptive names you should know about. You'll learn what supplements Suzanne takes to stay healthy every day. You'll learn how flavoring our food with natural herbs and spices could give us the antioxidants we need to ward off free radicals. You'll learn what exactly happened on the Threes Company in the 70s that got Suzanne fired from starting her activism, and much, much more. According to Suzanne Somers, even if you've lived a lifetime of bad habits, it's not too late to get healthy because the body is very forgiving. All you really have to do is start making a few simple changes, and in this audio, you'll learn how to do that. Now let's get going.
Hi, this is Chris Costello, and I've teamed up with Michael Senoff to bring you the world's best wellness-related interviews. So if you know anyone struggling with their weight, with cancer, diabetes, ADHD, autism, heart disease, or other health challenges, please send them to Michael Senoff's HardToFindSeminars.com. I'm Chris Costello. We're with beloved actress and best-selling author Suzanne Somers. Well, Suzanne, you have written a very exciting and groundbreaking new book called Breakthrough, 8 Steps to Wellness. So can you describe for our listeners what exactly do you mean by breakthrough medicine?
Well, in its simplest form, it's how to live a quality life and achieve peak health. And often that falls on deaf ears because people say, well, I'm healthy. And I'm healthy means, well, I don't have cancer and I'm not in the hospital, or I don't have Alzheimer's, or I don't have heart disease. And I always go ... yet, because the way we are approaching health right now should not be called health care. It should be called disease care. We wait until we're in a disease state, and then we go to the doctor who has no choice but to load us up with pharmaceutical drugs, and every drug creates some kind of side effect that requires another drug and another drug and another drug. And so I started thinking about the tipping point. At what point, when we have chemicals in our food, in unprecedented ways. We've never experienced anything like this in the history of mankind, not only in our food, but in our environment. We've never experienced an environmental assault as we are now experiencing with the pollution and the chemicals, and it's in our water, it's in our household goods. When I was a kid, my mother used to clean things with lemon water and ivory soap and mineral oil. Now we use chemical sprays and chemical detergents, chemicals in our clothes, and we send our clothes to the dry cleaners for more and more chemicals, and we use household chemicals, and we have chemicals in our food. You open some people's freezers, and it's all boxes of food with chemicals. They don't even realize what chemicals are. And then you couple that with the overuse of pharmaceutical drugs, the notion of allopathic medicine, which is, here's a symptom, here's your drug. And when you start layering all these chemicals on top of one another, I always ask, what is the tipping point? What is the candy bar or the Raid spray that you use for your ants, or the Roundup weed killer, or the Lipitor, or the synthetic hormones, or the Prozac that women are taking in unprecedented numbers, or the Ambien or Lunesta or sleeping pills that is just out of control because people can't sleep? What is it that makes it tip over and your liver says, I give, I can't do any more work for you, and that's when you get cancer? And we've reached a point that we all pretty much expect in our old age that we'll get one of the big three: cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's. And breakthrough is Suzanne Somers as a filter, essentially, interviewing cutting-edge doctors, Western doctors from around the world, all who have stood back and said, you know what we're doing is not working. And breakthrough is how to get off drugs, how to deal with aging with natural ways using nature's tools, which is Jonathan Wright's term, Dr. Jonathan Wright, the doctor who wrote the very first prescription for bioidentical hormones in the United States 23 years ago and has been a renegade and a cutting-edge doctor ever since. How to achieve it so that you can live this new life that we're being afforded, because they're now keeping us alive, like it or not, twice as long as the body actually wants to live through MRIs, CAT scans, sophisticated blood tests, antibiotics, even sewage. All these things are life prolongers, PET scans, etc. And they expect us all now to live to 90, 100, some even say 120. Well, I'm looking forward to that because I've decided to embrace true health care and go to the doctor when I'm well and think about every morsel of food that goes into my body. I expect to be there, but I expect to be there with my brain intact, with my bones intact, and with energy, and at one point, die healthy. And I'm trying to convey to my readers, to my lecture audiences, that it is possible, but you've got to start now. And it's not impossible if you've had a lifetime of bad habits. You can reverse it. The body is very forgiving. Once you start feeding it right, once you start taking good care of it and sleeping it, and dealing with the depression that comes with aging by understanding that it's a hormonal imbalance, replacing the hormones you've lost in the aging process in physiologic doses, individualized or customized just for you, that you can live this long life. And I fully expect to be there, and I know everyone will be watching me because I am my own experiment. And at 62, I do not take or require at present a single pharmaceutical drug as a result.
Well, we're looking forward to interviewing you when you're in your 90s. 100. Okay. We'll set the date.
We'll do the first one at 100, and let's try again at 119 or 120.
Hi, it's Michael Senoff with HardToFindSeminars.com. Thanks for watching this video. You know, many of my interviews last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, sometimes even up to 2.5 hours long. They're actual mini seminars, and you've just listened to a short sample of just one of over 117 hours of exciting, hard-hitting, mind-blowing interviews on how to make money in direct mail, advertising, copywriting. I assure you, there is not a resource anywhere on the internet or on the planet that comes close to the free information I provide at HardToFindSeminars.com. So go right now to HardToFindSeminars.com and you'll have free access to 117 hours of audio interviews with typed word-for-word downloadable transcripts and downloadable MP3 files. Please browse some more of the videos or go right directly to HardToFindSeminars.com. Thanks for watching.